Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Dallas, but I also go by German. And today we're going to be doing another deck profile. Um, Today I was thinking about it. We'll probably do the Scareclaw today, and afterwards, after this goes up, just let me know what other deck you would like to see. Out of Speedroid, Cubic, Vampire, Ancient Warriors, or Ancient Gear. I also have an Agnesir deck that we can go over as well. So right now we're gonna go ahead and go over Scareclaw. Okay, so first thing, we are not going to be discussing the hand traps. There's a couple interesting cards in here that probably wouldn't be in anyone else's Scareclaw deck. We'll go over those, but mostly it's going to be the archetype cards. So first we have Astra, which what all Scareclaw monsters do, or Scareclaw main deck monsters do, is that once a Scareclaw monster is summoned, you can special summon a Scareclaw monster to each adjacent side. Now that's not the monster's effect. So whenever you normal summon this, you can then use this effect to special summon it to that field or to that zone. This doesn't normal summon and special summon this. It's different. Basically, it's two effects. So once you have one on the field, you can special summon another. And they each have their own effect. This one is that while you control this face-up card, Scareclaw monsters in the extra monster zone, so just the link monsters, can attack up to a number of times, up to the number of defense position Scareclaw monsters you have on the field. Well, on your side of the field. Alone, all this does is you can inflict piercing damage, which doesn't sound all that good. Usually piercing damage really sucks. However, in this deck, where you're putting everything in defense mode, it actually helps a lot. Next, we have Acro, which all this does is for each defense position monster you control, including non-Scareclaw monsters, the Scareclaw monster in the extra monster zone gains 300 attack. So if you have each Scareclaw monster, Astra, Balone, Acro, and Rykart, you have 1200 attack. And then say you summon this, Joel and Lockbird, just normal summon it, goes to defense mode. Now you have 1600 attack, and this effect stacks. So if you special summon this, you can on the next turn, because these are once per turn, you can special summon from their hand. With their effect, you can special summon another one, and now you have plus 3200 attack because this is now getting 300 times 2. Next, I am using Tri-Brigade Fractal, and the only reason for this is that for the boss monster, you are going to want to toss this card, and then once you toss this card, you can send a level 3 or lower, I believe. Yeah, level 3 or lower Beast Warrior, Wing Beast monster to your graveyard, and all the level 3 Scareclaw monsters are Beast, which is really important for the effect of the boss monster, which we will get to in just a second. Next, we have Rykart. When this is normal special summoned, you can add a Scareclaw spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. And once you do that, there's a couple of different effects you can get from those effects or from those cards, but we'll go over those once we do. But it's a really good effect, which is, let's talk about it's a UR. It's a really good searcher. Next, you have Visa Frost, which is actually a tuner. I did not know that. Basically, all this does is you can target one monster you control with a different attribute and type than this card, which this is a warrior card. So unless you have Rykart on the field, you can just easily go into Visa Frost, which if you have Rykart, then you can go into your Link 1. But what this does is, when this is special summoned, well, it doesn't really do anything when it's special summoned, but you can destroy the card that you control, special summon this to your hand or to your field, and when this destroys opponent's monster by battle, you can make this card gain attack equal to the original attack or defense, whichever is higher. So that's not all that good. However, there is some synergy between Visa Starfrost and the Link 1. Next, I am running 1 Reinforced Sling Army, so I can get Rykart out. That's just another searcher for it. Now we're going to go ahead and get to the Scareclaw spells. The Scareclaw Arrival allows you to target 1 Scareclaw monster or Starfrost in the graveyard and special summon it in defense mode. And then, as a secondary effect, if a Link Scareclaw monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card instead. Next, the build spell. You can't search it with Rykart, unfortunately, because it doesn't have the name Scareclaw in the name of the card. However, what you can do is, when this card is activated, you can add 1 Scareclaw monster or Starfrost from your deck to your hand. Also, monsters your opponent controls loses 100 attack and defense for each defensive position monster on the field. That is including their field as well. And if there are 3 or more defense position monsters on the field, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. That is also including their field. So if you have 1 defense position monster and they have 2, you can pop something. You can only activate 1 of these per turn, which isn't all that great. However, with the advantage that you get off of this card, it's kind of needed. Next, there is Scareclaw Straddle. And what this is, you can target a Scareclaw monster or Starfrost in your monster zone and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Your monster gains attack and defense equal to the opponent's attack or defense, whichever is higher. And whenever a card or effect is activated that targets a Scareclaw or Starfrost, you can negate the effect. So it's just target negation as well as an attack increase. Next, you have Evenly Matched, just kind of just a hand trap, but it's really useful in this deck, since what you want to do is you want to lock down a lot of the time if you can't OTK for sure on the second turn. Next, I'm running 2 Imperms, and I am running Gravedigger Trap Holes. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I can't stop anything that's in the hand of the graveyard with these cards. So having that ability to negate those effects in the graveyard or in the hand is really helpful. Unfortunately, it works for monster effects. There's not much I can do about spell and trap cards other than the final continuous trap card for the Scareclaw. And what this is, you can target 1 Scareclaw or Starfrost monster you control. It can attack while in face-up defense position and apply its either attack or defense, whichever is higher. When your opponent activates a card or effect, while you control a Scareclaw monster in the extra monster zone, you can send this face-up card to your graveyard and negate the effect. That is unfortunately only once per turn. However, it acts as an Omni Negate, while you also have a target negate if you need to. And honestly, monster effects you're not really worrying about, so Imperm really isn't needed in this situation specifically. Onto the extra deck. I'm running 2 kind of generic rank 3s. And they just are rarity. What this is, Banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. And then once returned during either player's turn, you can detach one Xyz material. Target one face-up monster on the field. It loses 800 attack. Also, its effects are negated. It's not a quick effect. However, you can just negate a monster's effect on the field, which is cool. Then I also have Finisher of the Strong, which if this inflicts battle damage... Oh no, actually if this card battled, you can detach one material from it and place 3 counters on it. At the end, or if you have 3 counters on it already, you can get rid of all 3, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Now, unfortunately, these aren't all that helpful since they'll be going to defense mode, and anything that would attack would most likely just... Yeah, no, you wouldn't be able to attack all that much unless you have a Link deck, and usually Links can destroy stuff. So these aren't all that useful, but I couldn't find any other rank 3s I actually wanted to run. Next I have Scareclaw Lightheart. I'll be going over the ratios here in just a second. The Lightheart is, you can, when this card is Link Summon, you can get the field spell from your deck to your hand. And if you control a Starfrost, you can special summon this from the graveyard once per duel. Now, I said that Starfrost had a little bit of synergy with this. You can pop the Lightheart just because it's a Beast Warrior and a Dark. And then once you do, you can special summon it back. And you can also go into a Link after that because you will also have played your field spell. So let's say you start with Reichardt, which will get you any of these. You can go into Lightheart, get the field spell, and then pop Lightheart with Starfrost, and then from there special summon Lightheart, and you can search with your field spell. Now, hopefully, the opponent will just Ash Blossom your Reichardt. If it doesn't, you can always get a rival and special summon Reichardt with a rival to go into your rank 3. If you do that, though, you won't have any level 3s in the graveyard to do anything with. So that's why I'm running 2 of these. Now, that's all just one situation in this whole deck. But it does happen quite a bit, actually. Next, I'm just running the generic Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus. I don't have Nightmare Unicorn. Otherwise, I would run it. But this doesn't really help. It's not like you can't like Link climb with these. You're mostly just going into Scareclaw, so it doesn't really matter with Link climbing. I'm running a Tri-Brigade, this thing, which does you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast from your hand. And then you also, for Leslie's turn, can't special summon stuff from anywhere unless they are Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast, which is not an issue. Let's see. And these are just random stuff I just threw in here. I was going to put in a pot card, but I'm just not going to anymore. I might, actually, over... maybe a Gravedigger Trap Hole or an Imperm, since Imperms aren't all that imperative. But we'll have to see about it. Blackluster Soldier does need to be in here. You will never get its second or its protection effect just because you don't have any level 7s to use as Link material, unfortunately. So this is kind of a throwaway card as well. Next, the boss monster of this whole archetype, Triheart. All face-up monsters on the field are changed to defense mode. It is unaffected by the activated effects of defense mode monsters. And once per turn, if this card is in the extra monster zone, you can target a level 3 Scareclaw monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and then add a Scareclaw monster from your deck to your hand. With this, you can add a right card, actually. So that's not limited to level 3. Then I just have an access code talker. I haven't used it, and I have an Tri-Brigade Ominous Omen. That's just so I can banish something, though I have not summoned that either. So yeah, this is the deck. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think if you can think of anything that would make this more consistent. And thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.